welcome to the In His Voice podcast, hosted by me, Rob L. Lowe, where we talk about those things that deeply impact the lives of boys and men without ever bashing women. We talk about everything from the bedroom to the boardroom, from the playground to the stadium, and everything in between. And so before going forward, remember to like, subscribe, share. Please encourage other people to follow the channel and stay tuned for the latest content from the podcast. So here we are. Season 3, we're well into it. I was thinking about, I did a podcast earlier this season talking about bi-coastal living. And one of the things I didn't mention on the podcast is, when you're living in 2 or 3 locations and you're trying to balance family life, you're trying to make sure that you're present, all those things that come with this type of lifestyle. Where you're working and you're growing and you're trying to be an entrepreneur and follow your dreams while still doing the corporate thing. One of the things I forgot to mention is the impact that being away from your family during the holidays can have on you and them. And so, hey, we're in the swing of the holiday season. We just finished up Thanksgiving. We're preparing for Christmas. And, Christmas was one of those periods or one of those holidays that, in my childhood, because, my mom passed away, as I talked about when I was a kid, and my father wasn't around. My grandparents did everything they could to make sure that we had a good Christmas. They did. And, as I got older and my sisters got older, there was a time, and I wrote about it in my book. There was a time that on one of the Christmases, believe it or not, our lights got turned off, like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. And they were able to get it turned back on. But, that Christmas, we didn't get a lot, and it hurt. And I remember getting a walkie-talkie. I was like 14 or 15, a walkie-talkie and like a little toy train. And I had these expectations about, man, like all my other Christmases, my grandmother got me, everything that I wanted for the most part of me and my sisters. And that particular Christmas, we didn't. And, there were some things that happened that Christmas that really, really hurt me. And as a kid, Christmas means different things to us versus now being an adult and being a father. And, there's studies that show that during the holiday season, there are more people that suffer from depression than any other time of the year, right? And there's probably a variety of reasons. I'm not a doctor, a psychologist, or a therapist, but I can imagine there's the pressure of, can you provide, during the season, because we put so much emphasis on the commercialism of Christmas. Do I have family to spend with during Thanksgiving and Christmas if I'm alone? Or, are there relationships that need to be healed? People have lost loved ones along the way, and so those holidays trigger emotions for them. And, my wife and daughters, and I give credit to my wife, she is kind of the glue for us, that she makes sure that, we really do our best to spend the holidays together, regardless of how far I was or when I was traveling. I always try to make it home for the holidays. And my daughters, when I say Christmas for us as a family is a requirement, like I'm trying to do a vacation. They was like, yeah, no, skip a vacation. I just want to go home and open up gifts under the tree. And the years that I didn't have a lot of money and maybe things weren't as affluent as they had been in the past, they didn't really care about that. What they cared about is they loved the experience of waking up on Christmas morning and opening gifts as a family. They loved the idea of giving me gifts. Even if it was gifts I didn't want, it was just to see their joy, and I'd be like, oh, thank you. But we started this tradition in our house, and I got it from someone else. So I didn't come up with it. My brother, I call him my big brother, my god brother, Herb, he taught me something about 17 years ago. He said on Christmas morning, he would get up, and before they would open their gifts or afterwards, they would go to breakfast, not just to eat, but with the sole intent on blessing the waiter or the waitress or the staff that had to work on that day. And so we've been doing this every holiday now for probably 12, 13 years. We make it a point that on Christmas Day, even if my wife had to work, me and the girls still went. Before we open up presents, we always go to breakfast, and we go get a card the day before, and we put a decent amount of money in the card so that we can be a blessing to the waitress or the waiter who has to work on that day. Like, people sometimes forget that, those folks have families too that they want to spend time with. I think there's probably many of those individuals who are working because they don't have a choice. They're probably getting overtime or holiday pay to be there. And so the idea of being able to make more money so that they can provide for their family, not just on that day, but the next day, is more important than waking up and being able to experience the whole day with them. And so I guess the point of this podcast is, as we go into the holiday season, as Christmas is rapidly approaching, one, don't get caught up in the commercialism of Christmas. Two, be very cognizant of the people around you. And as I stated on an earlier podcast, sometimes being the provider isn't the most important thing. Be present. And then three, recognize for the folks that might be providing a service to you on Christmas Eve, or even Thanksgiving. If you had a chance to go out to the store and people were there working in support of you. Drugstores, gas stations, some grocery stores, some places are open on those holidays, and those folks want to go home too. So when you go out, remember to be a blessing, right? Whatever your spiritual belief is, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu, whatever the case, if you are Jewish, whatever the case, at the center of all of those religious beliefs is the ideal that love trumps all. Whoever you worship to, at the center of that is love and the love for mankind. And I'm a Christian. That's what I fundamentally believe. And for me, it's not about the commercialism of open up gifts. It's about the gift that was given so that I could be here and tell this story. So as you prepare for the holidays, take inventory of those that are around you. Don't forget to tell people you love them, and also say I'm sorry if needed. And I want you to cherish the holidays, enjoy it, celebrate with family and friends, and be sure to be a blessing to others. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next episode of the In His Voice podcast with me, Rob L. Lowe. Take care. God bless.